it's just been a lot. It might get a little bit more complicated if we don't have somewhere to go when our lease ends. There will just be stuff everywhere and I will lose my mind. Like eating, sleeping, pooping, and traveling. All right, so I got the haka. It looks really weird when it's sucked on, I will say that. So what goes in must come out. Cloth diapers. This feels so foreign to me. I'll do a little demo. That was a little pep talk to myself. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to do a little sit down girly like mom chat and talk about, I don't know, maybe a little life update, my nesting dilemma, and some baby things that I've gotten, how I'm going about different things, especially since we're in this chaotic transitional season of house hunting, and just all the changes in general of like not just being pregnant, but like we're living in this new state, in this new city. We don't really know much about the area. It's all still very new and different, and we have yet to feel like we have roots, and I don't know, it's just been a lot. And house hunting in general right now is literally terrible. And to make it worse, we have like this looming deadline of birth coming up, just adding a little bit of extra pressure. And it's not the end of the world if we're like not in a house or moved out before she comes, but it might get a little bit more complicated if we don't have somewhere to go when our lease ends. Really doesn't give us that much extra time either after she's born. It's maybe like a month or so, and we're probably going to be consumed with the newborn stage during that time. So pressure's on. And it's been really easy to go from zero and chill and think along the lines of it's all going to work out, there's no need to stress, God's timing always makes more sense than ours, to then thinking like crap, the market, the rates, the inventory, the deadline, the baby. It's just really easy to go from 0 to 100, and it gets kind of exhausting. But with all the house hunting stuff aside, we do need to prepare to some degree to take care of a baby, regardless of where we're living when she is born. And so my approach is just assuming that we're still going to be here in this 1-bedroom apartment. It's really small, which is fine, but there's just not a lot of space, so we have to be really intentional with what we get and not going overboard, because there will just be stuff everywhere and I will lose my mind. I literally have just been cramming things into this corner over here to keep it separate, but there's literally not that much space to put anything, and it can be really discouraging and hard being on social media and seeing other moms like nesting and getting their nurseries all put together and seeing them get to the point of, okay, now we just need the baby, and I'm over here like kind of jealous. But comparison is never good, and it's always just you working with yourself, working with where you are now and what you need right now. But falling down the comparison trap is not constructive, and all it does is rob you of your happiness. So I need to cut it out. That was a little pep talk to myself. We will make do with what we have here, and it'll be perfectly fine, and it'll only be temporary. But because we have such tight space, I'm constantly in my head thinking like, am I going to need this item within the first like couple weeks of her life? Like, is this a necessity? Just to kind of filter out my purchases. And one of the biggest reminders I'm telling myself on a daily basis is that Amazon and Target will always be there. They're not going anywhere. And once the baby does come and we get a feel for what we need and what she needs, it's not going to be a big deal to fill in those gaps when that time comes. So in our little 1-bedroom, we are just going to have basically a baby station for her in our room and carve out just a little chunk of space. It's basically just going to be her dresser. I'll put a little photo of it here if you haven't seen it yet in my last video, but it's fairly large, and I think I'll be able to store everything, if not just a good majority of the things we get her in the dresser. Like all of the clothing, blankets, diapers, hygiene supplies. We'll put her changing table on top of it, and I think we'll be good to go with that situation. But as I start nesting very minimally and intentionally, trying to stick to the basics, I'm breaking things down into different categories, like eating, sleeping, pooping and traveling. Like, what do we need in order to feed her? Where is she going to sleep safely? How is she going to get from point A to point B safely? And what's the diaper situation going to look like? And obviously keep some clothes on her. But I'll show you a few things that I've gotten so far in our first little category of feeding her. Now, I can't predict what may or may not happen around feeding her, but I'm just going to assume breastfeeding, and if something happens where that's not working, I'm just going to cross that bridge when we come to it, or else I'm just going to go down a rabbit hole of preparing for all of these what if situations. Like I said earlier, Amazon, Target, Walmart, they're all there, they're not going anywhere. So if something happens, we can handle it when it happens. Got my little box. All right, so I got the Haka mostly because, like, I've heard such good things about it, especially to just catch any letdown or any drippage that you might have. It's like, if it's coming out anyway, I might as well try to catch it and then save it for later for who knows what reason, but don't want anything to go to waste, so I'll take it out. So this is what it looks like. So I was curious as to how to stick it on, and I actually like suctioned it on for 2 seconds and it already like sucked out breast milk. So that I was not expecting. I guess it's doing its job, I don't know. So you just fold the top down, squeeze, and suck it on. It looks really weird when it's sucked on, I will say that. I was very shocked when things were wet and there was like a drop in there. I was like, just not expecting that. So we have our Haka, and if anything does come out, we just got some bags to store it in, and that's about it. I feel like all the mom videos I watch say you can never go wrong with having like too many burp cloths. I just got a pack of like the white muslin burp cloths. And then the other thing I got for breastfeeding is the boppy. I have not taken it out of the case yet, but I just thought we would try having like the little pillow support, see how comfortable it is. That sums it up. I do want to get nursing pads, and I think that covers my basis for the feeding part. So what goes in must come out. All right, let's talk about diapers. This may stir up a little bit of controversy depending on your personal preferences or your own experience. I'm just asking that you try to not be negative if you comment anything about it. This is just my perspective and my preference and what I'm thinking about doing, which are cloth diapers. Now, I don't know if I'll do cloth diapering 100%. Definitely if we're out of the house or traveling, we'll probably just do disposables, but I would love to only use cloth when we're at home, just because I personally like having that reusable option, and you essentially never run out of a way to diaper her. So those are just a few reasons why I'm like drawn to it more, and it's something I just want to try out. I know there's some controversy in if cloth diapering makes like financial sense, which is totally understandable. I think it can be easy to look at cloth diapering initially and think it's so expensive, but if we were to have another kid and if I were to resell these items at some point in the future, I feel like it either breaks even on what you spend on disposables or you do save a little bit of money. I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there. But I have made a couple of cloth diaper purchases from Facebook Marketplace. It's a great way to find pre-used ones. Like, people don't need them anymore, maybe cloth diapering didn't work out for them, or their kid is just now potty trained. I feel like I can make a whole video about cloth diapering, but I just wanted to chat a little bit about it. So some things that I've gotten for our cloth diapering journey: wet bags, because you'll have some soggy diapers. And then I did get, I think there's 6 of them in here. So these are the Alpha Baby cloth diapers. They're pocket diapers, but you can button them to be different sizes and different torso heights. These are on like the bigger side, but they can grow quite a lot with the baby. They say it's mostly one size fits all, so there's that. And then she was selling the diapers along with the inserts that go inside the diaper. So there's 8 of these and 6 of these. This feels so foreign to me. And I also just purchased another cloth diaper lot off of Facebook Marketplace. There was a huge bundle of assembly diapers, and assembly does the inner shell and the outer shell. But I'm still waiting for them, or else I would show them to you. But it was like 20 inner shells and 6 outer shells, which is insane. Like, that amount with this should cover everything that we need for a really long time. Yeah, that's what we got so far. And then I do have a simple basic like changing table pad thing coming from Amazon. So pretty good start. So the next category is having somewhere for her to sleep. I mentioned earlier that we're just kind of carving out space in our bedroom for her with the dresser. Since we don't have the space to do like her own nursery or her own room, it doesn't make sense to get a crib right now. My mom did gift us a little bassinet from Nestig, and it's super nice where we can roll it around the apartment, and it does convert from like the bassinet to a crib to a toddler bed. So that was ordered and we're waiting on it. So I think all I want to get in addition to that is just some extra mattress sheet. But yeah, we'll just have the bassinet next to the bed and call it a day. The last category is getting her from point A to point B. We actually just got her car seat and stroller little travel system yesterday. I have never spent so much time Googling something as I have car seats and strollers. There are literally so many options and it's so overwhelming. Hopefully we made a good choice. I guess you never know until you're actually using it with the baby and in different scenarios, but so far so good, I guess. I'll do a little demo. I don't even know if you can see it. I have the car seat in the stroller right now. That's why it looks like that. It's the Even Flow Folio 3 and it comes with the car seat. The little travel system I picked came with the car seat. Now we just got to install that, but at least we have it. One last thing I'm thinking about in terms of getting her from point A to point B is baby wearing, the wraps, the carriers, things like that. I will probably get something like that before she comes, but I haven't settled on any one particular wrap or carrier. If you have a favorite, definitely let me know because the decision fatigue is real. But I really think that's about it for getting her from point A to point B. Good start. We also do have a handful of like newborn up to 12-month clothing. I obviously don't know how big she's going to be when she comes out, but I do have a good amount of smaller clothes just in case she is on the small side. I feel like that was a piece of advice that I've heard multiple times in other videos. While you don't want to overdo it on the newborn clothing since they grow so fast, you also don't want to neglect and forget about it either, just in case they are on the small side when they're born. So I feel like we have a good start, and I think I said this in my last video that I have had this gut feeling that she was going to come at like 38 weeks. I mean, whatever happens happens. If it's 38, 39, 40, you know, whatever it is, I just like do want to have like 95% of things figured out before 38 weeks, so that really only leaves me with like 6 weeks left to do that, and time is going by really fast. So I haven't completely lost my sanity or making progress. The whole housing situation is definitely looming over my head, but we'll get through it. But slow progress is still progress. Let me know how long it took for you guys to nest, or if you felt prepared when your baby came. Let me know too if there's anything in particular you want to see or you want me to talk about. Just leave that in the comments below. And I'll see you guys next week.